So TrackMan, amazing tool, loads of data. It can be a bit overwhelming. You're only ever really going to use one or two of these numbers down below, and there's a lot more, by the way. But as a little crash course in what they'll mean, take a look at this. So just a small selection in the numbers on TrackMan, but here's some commonly used ones. Depends what you're working on to what you're looking for, but let's talk you through some of these. Some very obvious, most you might know. Some of those new to any ball flight and club data might be a bit new to them. So let's talk you through some of these. Club speed, speed at impact, hopefully fairly straightforward one that. Ball speed is the ball speed as it just leaves the club. Then you get this thing called smash factor, which is a ratio of ball speed and club head speed. So what you're looking for with a driver is about a 1.5 smash factor. That would mean club head speed 100, ball speed 150. That's a pretty efficient strike. So if you're hitting in the middle, you're going to get some decent smash factor scores there. Club path. So now this is the direction the club is moving at impact. So if I draw a straight line here, let's call that target line. You might call club path in to out, out to in, that type of thing. So an in to out number on club path will be a plus that way, as you can see there for that draw. And out to in, for people that slice the golf ball, you have a negative number in club path, so a minus something. Then you've got, slightly linked to that and shape of ball flight, you've got face angle. So let's say on that shot there, I've got a club path out to the right. My face angle is somewhere between those two. Okay, now roughly, if your club face is half the path with a good strike, your shot's going to probably hit the target. The bigger that number, or the bigger the gap, the face to path number, like you can see there. So if I swing a long way right with a face that's, let's call it quite straight, and that could be 45 degrees, it wouldn't be, but that's a huge number, and that would be a lot of curves. So slicers out there that have a lot of shape on the golf ball, which is still a common shot we see, your club path will be somewhere to the left. Let's call it a -10 for easy numbers. Now, even if your face is a 0, so even if your face is a 0 at impact, it will start straight-ish pretty much. Anytime you've got a flat club like a driver, the ball with a centre stripe is going to start nearer the club face. So if I swing across with a 0 face, it starts straight-ish and moves away, okay? So slicers, your face-to-path number will be a plus. Plus on TrackMan is pretty much right and up, as you'll see now. And the bigger the gap, the bigger the difference between the face and the path, the more curve you get in whatever direction. So moving on, we've got low point and attack angle, similar type of thing. Low point is where your club is at its lowest, so before the ball or after the ball. So if I'm striking it well and I hit the ball first and then make a divot afterwards, my low point would be a couple of inches or so after the golf ball. With a driver, you don't mind your low point being before the ball because we're usually trying to swing it on the way up. So my club could be low here, going up towards the ball that's on the tee. So low point could be before for a driver, not a problem. And then we've got attack angle, similar type of thing. Attack angle is going to be, is your club going down towards the golf ball or up towards the golf ball? Down when the ball is on the floor with an iron. Usually, the quicker you swing the club, the more you can afford to swing down, the more you want to swing down. Slower club head speeds, you don't really want to be smashing a 8-iron 9 degrees down, that type of thing. So, and again, with driver, you can hit up on the ball to get yourself more distance, which is great. So your attack angle could be a plus number, a positive. Negative is down, driver. Then we got carry and total, how far it carries. Then the total is the rollout. And then we got spin rate, and we use dynamic loft a couple along from there. So spin rate is how many revolutions per second the ball is spinning backwards. And you'll see more spin with more lofted clubs, which might make sense. The reason you get more spin, if we take speed out of the equation, so more speed, more spin. Let's assume it's a good strike. If I'm hitting down on the golf ball, let's say it's a wedge, so my attack angle is down, and the wedge has got lots of loft. Okay, so the loft might be somewhere up here. This angle is known as spin loft. Okay, so this might dynamic loft, this club here. So as I hit the ball, how much loft am I presented? And with a wedge, it's usually more. And the angle of attack, this red line here, how much down am I hitting? The bigger this angle, it's referred to as spin loft. The bigger that is, the more spin you get. And the ball is always spinning backwards. But to curve it, it will tilt. So if I come to the camera here, and let's say the spin axis is for a draw, it's a minus. So it's tilted to the left. Now, when you hit a golf shot, the ball does not spin to the side like that. It is always spinning backwards. Okay? But to curve the golf ball, when you have a difference between the face and the path, it tilts the ball. Okay? So if you imagine this line here like planes on a wing. So if I'm hitting a draw, okay, I would tilt the ball that way and the ball would move off this way. It's still spinning backwards. So spin axis, again, the bigger the number, the bigger the tilt of the golf ball, the more curve you get left or right. And then finally, swing direction, different to club path. So let's use these two. You might have seen at a lot of driving ranges that big silver wheel explainer, okay, it's called. Now, I use the bottom half of it. So this is my swing, this red stick here, okay? So imagine that's a hoop around my body. I've just got the bottom half here. So this would be a 0 swing direction, okay? So at the bottom of this arc, my club is moving dead straight, so it'd be a 0 on TrackMan. Now I can move this swing direction to the right or to the left, okay? But it is not the same as club path because club path is at impact. So if I hold this stick at the point where I make contact with the golf ball, so let's say I'm using an iron, I'm hitting down on the ball, okay? So I'm hitting somewhere on this down part of the swing. So you can see my swing direction goes down, up, as well as around my body. Now, if I turn this way, that is a straight swing. But you can see my club path, the black stick, is now out to the right because I'm hitting on the way down. So hitting down will make your club path move more right. If I put this nearer my left hand, let's say it's a driver, and I'm now hitting up with the same club path. You can see this stick now, put it towards the camera, you might see that better, is now pointing to the left. Okay? So my club path is now left because I'm hitting it on the way up. It's the same swing direction. And this is a massive reason why you see players hit their irons quite straight and they slice their driver. Because they'll be hitting, let's say they swing it left anyway. So I'll move my swing direction left. I'll put this somewhere here. And that is a club path quite straight. Try and get it on camera. There you go. Now, if I had the same swing direction, but I put that in my left hand, which is hitting more up, like you would do maybe for a driver, it's now way left. Big reason, or one of the big reasons why people will hit irons quite good in terms of direction and slice the drivers. So a few numbers there. That is a very quick whiz through at some of the basics. If you want more detail, leave a message down below and I'll explain some of those numbers in a separate video in more detail. Hope that wasn't too painful.